Well, Mr. Hall, Gerard, how are you? This is a challenge. I don't talk about this very much. Because it's kind of dealt with. So, go back 23, 24 years. My wife and I were going through a very awkward patch. Very, very challenging. And she took the kids down to her mum's and left me alone, drinking. I mean, serious drinking to get rid of the pain. And when you're doing a bottle and a half of brandy a day and you still feel in pain, you kind of realise that that's not sorting it. And I was terrified that the children, and we only had Tom and Sarah in those days, I was terrified that the children would blame themselves for our marriage failing. And it goes like, in my head, I heard them having a conversation with themselves saying, Mum and Dad met, fell in love, were very happy, we came along, they fell out, ergo it's our fault. And the logical conclusion to that in my head was it would be easier for the children to grieve my death than it would be to live with their responsibility over our marriage breakup. And again, this is a conversation that was going on up here. It wasn't real. They were 5 and 4, for Christ's sake. They're completely unaware. They just thought they were going to grandma's on holiday. I was so aggressive and bullish in those days. You don't get to be a general manager of a 5-star hotel by being nice to people. You tend to be probably a bully, and that overspilled into home life. Then I was running a shop fitting firm under intense pressure. Anyway, so the logical conclusion was it would be easier if I wasn't there. And that found me on a reservoir dam, Haweswater Dam, with a rucksack full of bricks strapped to my back. Going to finish it all. And I stood on that edge looking into the abyss for a very long time. I don't know what pulled me back. But I was just so violently sick, I puked my heart out. Took the rucksack off, threw it in the pond. It would still be there at the bottom of that wall. And went home, phoned the Samaritans, just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. Phoned a very good friend of mine who put his life on hold and just came and stayed with me. Me and Judy started talking, and it got better. And it got better, and then it got worse again. And then rather than alcohol, I started putting on weight. And for the next 25 years, I was just masking the pain with drink and food. Still working hard, we had 2 more kids, running businesses, losing businesses, not paying attention to the important parts. Working hard, thinking I was working hard, but not necessarily working smart. Not listening to people that could help. And still being really on this merry-go-round of booze and food, booze and food, booze and food. Until by 2015, I was at a point where I was desperately seeking success and kind of not taking responsibility and blaming everybody else for my apparent lack of success. And then I was in New York for Momentum Day. Oh, and on the way to New York, I nearly got thrown off the plane because I couldn't do the fucking seatbelt up. I had to have a seatbelt. Well, I had 2 seatbelt extensions, and the guy next to me was upgraded to business class. And at that Momentum Day, Stuart said, success won't make you happy. You have to be happy to achieve success. And looking at me, I had everything that everybody in that room wanted. I had wife, kids, fantastic house, a home. What else does everybody want? And I got it all, and I was still unhappy. And it was about that time, working with a guy called John Jackson, that he defined my purpose, which is to recognise the value in other people so that they can happily dance knowing that they matter. I really wasn't impressed with that definition of my purpose. In fact, I can happily say I was furious. And I sort of said, what do I do with that? Open a dance school. What is the point of that? All this work for that. And he said, go home, look at the people close to you through that filter. Do the people that should know that they have value? Are they dancing? Are they happy? And I went home and I looked at the one person in the world that had stood by me, and 2 years before that I was in hospital for 27 hours with a suspected heart attack because we'd lost yet another business, and I was rushed to hospital in an ambulance, blues and twos, and for the 27 hours I was under observation. Judy never left my side, so I knew that she loved me. It certainly wasn't for the money, because it's fuck all of that. But she didn't know that I recognised her value. So I started putting it right. I became like Jim Carrey's yes man. If Judy wanted to go dancing, I'd say yep. If she wanted to go shopping, yep. If she wants to go for a coffee, yep. And I started working on me. And it was pretty tough. So put into the mix that I was close to type 2 diabetes, and the doctor saying, if you don't get control of your weight, I don't think I'll be having another conversation. And I sort of laughed and said, look, I'm just 6 inches too short. And she said, Steve, this is serious. I'll be reporting you to the DVLA. You won't get through your next medical. You'll lose your vocational licence. You'll probably start losing toes, and you will die. Right, okay. So that, Judy, everything, again, I was at this point of, you've got to make a change. So with all those combinations, I had to deal with the internal pain, create happiness on the inside, and it had a lot to do with recognising the people that cared, listening to the people that cared, having conversations with people that genuinely cared about me, and having a support network, and having the confidence to reach out, and having the faith that the people who genuinely care about me would never judge. They couldn't get in my body and stop with the drinking and stop with the abuse, but they could support me and love me through it. And if this video does anything, then I hope it gives you permission to go out and find people that will love you back to a proper life. And once I put that into place and I found people that could help me, the weight loss was easy. I mean, I've lost 154 pounds since May 2016. Sounds really impressive, and it is really impressive. But I knew why. And when you know why, how's easy. If you're going to die, if you don't change your behaviour, you're going to change your behaviour. You're going to really screw up your life if you don't change your behaviour, and somebody points that out to you, then you're going to change your behaviour. And through that process and my coming to terms with that, I now can really help people understand the impact that they can have on their own lives by finding a big enough reason why. Is it over? Am I out of danger? No. I can revert to type now. And I have to be really aware of triggers. I have to be really aware of behaviour patterns, and I have to snap out of them fast, otherwise I will go down really quick. Never leaves. It's a constant work in progress. And the best way to stay in tune with your own values is, one, define them, but two, share them. And then give people that you share those values to permission to call you out when you fuck up. And I'm eternally grateful for my secret keepers. And they have absolute confidence that they can call me out without me going off on one and getting upset and throwing a paddy, call it what you want. And you have to give them permission and the confidence that they can call you out without getting a mouthful, because they'll only do it once. And that honesty, that integrity is crucial. There's countless books I can recommend. But the most important thing is knowing why. Understand that you have more value in your little finger than you give yourself credit for. You've got so much going for you. It's just that we never see it. We never understand our true worth until it's too late. Even the big gurus on stage who preach such wonderful words, they still have that little voice inside them going, "Are you fucking kidding?" We all do. But you know what? I know I have value. And I know how to make myself happy. It stems with gratitude. It grows out of gratitude. It grows out of just feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Keeping booze out of your life is probably a great thing. Recognising your addictive traits, watching for them, being aware of them, letting your guardians have permission to deal with them. There is no secret, it's just called work. I'm no longer on medication for depression. I'm no longer at risk from self-harm. I'm fitter now at 61 than I have been for the last 40 years. It feels great. Thanks, Gerard. I don't know if this is of any use to anyone. But if you are struggling to find out why, I'm really happy to help you with that. Really happy. Danny Han, buddy man. Gerard, always got your back. Let's look out for each other. Because we know what dark places are like. We don't need to be there anymore. Take care. Bye bye.